Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Sima God. So if this is your first time, please just hit the subscribe button. And today we're making this beautiful top like we saw in the picture that made us click on this video. If this looks like what you want to learn how to make from scratch to finish, stay tuned. So in this part of the video, we are going to be doing the sewing. In case you just seen this video for the first time, there is a part one of this video on how to cut the upper part first, so you might just need to go back and watch that video. So if this looks like what you want to watch and learn, stay tuned and thank you.
Now it's good to note that for the fabric, while cutting the front, the right part of the fabric should be facing you. Please take note of this. The right part of the fabric should be facing you, not the wrong part of the fabric. The right part while you are cutting the front pattern. So now this is the front pattern and this is me placing it. This is me placing it here. Placing it. You see it? So the right side should be facing you, and then you go ahead to cut. And then you cut these parts. Then you follow the shape of the shoulder and you simply just cut. Please be careful enough to make sure you are following exactly the shape. So the center front is ready. We'll keep it aside. Now we'll cut the side front. Now for the side front, we'll fold our fabric into two. And I'll fold this side. I'll fold the that side. After folding the that side, I'll keep this here. So I'll be adding sewing allowance of 4 inches. Now reason behind the 4 inches is because remember I had some allowances I was supposed to complete. So it's better to have more than enough sewing side seam, then you trim off, than having shortage. So I choose to use 4 inches, sorry, for the sewing allowance. Then I'll cut. And then I'll repeat the same process here, just cut it. So now I have my two side fronts ready, and then I have my center front ready. So what I would do to this fabric is that I would cut their lining, I will stay it preferably, and then I'll set aside. So let's while this is going on the fabric, let's cut the back. Now the easier way for you when cutting a mono strap, when you want to cut the back, if you cut the front part of the pattern on the right part, turn the wrong part of the fabric and do your cutting, so you do not have issues or misplacing them. It could be actually tricky when dealing with when drafting for mono strap, when you make those kind of mistakes. So the next thing you should do is to place it like this on the wrong part of the fabric. And remember, on the um front part we placed on the right part, so now on the wrong part you are going to place this, and then you're going to add your zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. You could use 1 inch, all depends on you. And then you cut. So after cutting this part, we'll cut the other part of the center back. We'll just place this, and then we'll mark our zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. (1.5 inches) straight up like so. So this for the center back. Then for the side back, I'll put my fabrics on fold. I'll set this aside. I'll place my fabrics on fold. Mark the wrong part of your fabric, and then you cut, adding your sewing allowance of 4 inches. Now it depends on you. Like I said, the sewing allowance is to your own preference. And then you cut. Now that being done, we have our side front, side back, center front, center back already. The only thing I'll go ahead to do right now is to cut the lining, and I'll join them. For the front, I'm going to be adding my padding to it. I would join them together, couple them together, then I'll fit the sides. After fitting the sides, I would come back to the table. We'll talk about adding the peplum to the lower part. That's beautiful peplum we saw, and then the cape on the shoulder of this outfit. So for now, I'm just going to join the front together. I'm going to stay it, cut the lining, turn it, and then come back to the cutting table. Okay, so after fitting, this is what I have. Let me take off the office pins. The armhole part, you hem it. If you like, you can add a sleeve. Then this part, you turn it very well, but from this part down to the back, to this point, not this other part now, not this other part of the back, from this other part that the cape will be on, from here down to here, down to here, and this other part, just simply top stitch, except you want to do an inner sewing, I mean, and then that's where you use your lining to turn. But for me, I just want to turn with the collar or the cape like that. So the next thing, quickly, we are going to go to the peplum, how it was achieved. Now If we look at the picture, we'll see that one side is has a short dropping, while the other side has a longer dropping, and then we have the waist. So I will just take us on how it's done. Now I have this fabric. This fabric, when we measure the height, we'll have about 24 inches. Now when we fold it into two equal half, it gives us 12. That means that the length of the peplum we are using is 12. Now you fold it equally, get an equal height for the peplum. When you've done that, you choose the part you want to have the longer drop and the part that you want to have the shorter drop. Now for me, after folding, I want this side to have the shorter drop. So from here, I'll mark 14 inches. I'm okay with 14 inches dropping by this side. After that, I would mark my waist circumference. Now remember that this is on fold, so it means my waist circumference will be divided into two. So my waist is 38, then 38 divided by 2 gives me 19. So from this point to this point, I will simply mark 19, and then I would open. Just watch the way I want to open it. I will just give a notch and open in between it up until that 19 inches. Then this part has the longer drop. For the longer drop, I have about 25 inches. So I'm going to get this waist part. Now I'm going to concentrate on it. You remember that one part to serve as the back part that have the zipper side. I barely do not use the zipper allowance because I would have a little space for my zipper allowance here. So I'll fold this 19 inches that I have into two. Then I'll pick out one part. Now it's folded into four. I'll pick out one part and I'll cut it open for my zipper allowance. So this is literally what I have. I have this opened, while this is the front, this is going to be the back. So I'm going to cut two of this, which I already have one more here. I'm going to cut it. You can use your lining, but I want the fabric to serve as the lining too. You cut exactly this. You turn all the edges round, and then you attach it to the waist of this top. So after attaching it to the waist of the top, turn it, and then I'll fix the zip. After fixing the zipper, before we finally go over to the cape design on the dress. Okay, so as you can see, I have sewn the peplum to the upper bodice, and so this is what we have. You can see the shorter parts, you can see where I added the waist, and you can see this, and this is the back. You can see the zip has been fixed, you can see it, and you can see. So when we leave it, this is what we have. It will drop. You give it a good press. Now when we come to this upper part, you can see that we added a band to this sleeve, just a normal off shoulder sleeve band. Let me show you so that you can see it very well. So now this has a normal shoulder, and this is an off shoulder. So the only thing that is left for us to do here is the cape. Now for the first thing I'll be doing is to open up this, up. When I open it up, I would get my pattern paper, and I'll place my pattern paper. So the first thing I would love to do is to spread this and get the shape of this neck from here down to this place. So I will get that shape first. So the shape of the neck is gotten already from this point to that point. You take note of it. Then at this point, I'll come down by 11. While at this point, I'll come down by 8. This is the back part and this is the front, and then I'll connect it. Now it depends on the shape you want to give this. I feel I still need to give it a little bit of a slanty shape, kind of. So this is what I choose to give it now. So finally, here I still maintain my 11 inches, right here, which is the back, I have about 6 inches. So I would now cut. So after cutting, this is what I have. This is what I have, which is from this point, which is from this point to this point and straight to the back. Now if you still feel the need to adjust the shape, you can as well as feel free to adjust the shape to however preference you want. I feel I should adjust mine a little bit more. So this is what I have now. Take note of the neck part, the part that you're going to be sewing. And this is what we'll definitely have now. So this is what we'll definitely have now. From here, you have that straight down to this place. So what I will do is that I'll cut 2 of this, then I'll put stay on it. Then we'll come over to this other part. All I need to do for this other part is to measure from here, that is going to start from, to this place. So I have about 13.5 inches. So I'll get my fabric, I'll fold into 2, and then I can as well as choose to fold on bias form. After folding on bias, we have about 13.5 inches there. So all I need to do is to measure, divide the 13.5 inches into 2. I have almost 7 inches. So I will just come on this point and I will mark the 7 where 7 inches falls on. Then from here, I want the cape from this side to be about 7 inches still. So I will mark 7 inches from here. I would come here, I would mark my 7 inches. I would come here and I will mark the same 7 inches. Just consistently marking the 7 inches like that. And this is it. So I'll turn it. After turning it, after putting my stay, I'll come to this point and I'll sew it from the inside, and then it's just going to stay like this here. So I would also go ahead right now to cut 2 of these. I'll stay it. Okay, so this is this one. So I've added my stay on them. So this one, I'm just going to turn this side and turn this side, and then come to this point. I'll sew it down to this back part. Then it's going to come out like this. And so we're going to have something like this around here, as seen in the picture. While this other one, this is it. I've put my stay on them. I'm going to start sewing that to this one from here. That is inside out for it to come out. So it will come out like this. So the next thing I'll do now is to go to my sewing machine. I'll just couple it and wear it, and then we'll see the and then we'll see the final outcome.